one time he will be in full-time Christian ministry.
Okay.
And so I knew that.
He was thirsting for this.
Yes. So because I knew he will join one time, he will be a full-time Christian worker, I didn't mind. I said, okay.
Yeah.
But now my worst of it was when he said he wants to work in life ministry, which was to raise support. And now you raise support, you don't know who will give you money, who will not. Some of our friends actually, they said, how can you leave government where you are getting salary and then come to beg?
Very true. Very true.
But I took, he didn't force me to resign. But neither would he have resigned, because one of the conditions was if he has been called to life ministry, his wife too has to join life ministry. He can't join alone.
Very true.
So
now, as a mother, did you get worried, or at some point did you come to think in the near future, what will happen to my kids and what will happen with our lives?
actually I took 1 full year to digest whether I am going to resign or not.
My goodness.
So, of course,
1 full year still working.
1 full year, we are both working.
And rethinking.
And rethinking. He himself is praying.
Okay.
And I'm also praying, God help my husband to change mind, join World Vision, join a church and what. But he felt, no, the strategy in life ministry was the best.
Very true.
And so I prayed, and until one day when I was going to work, one of our senior, I was working in the hospital, Ministry of Health, and the senior nursing officer had a ticket to go to UK to be there for 6 months, together with his family, with her family. So she has got everything, the passport and everything, and as well, they were coming back to prepare, they got a very vital accident. And then I realized, oh, I have been looking at the payslip, so it is a twinkling of an eye, and that payslip goes. That was my turning point. Wow. And then I said, no, I just need to say yes to God, because this payslip doesn't mean anything if God is not with it.
Oh, yes.
So I told him, okay. In the evening when I went home, I asked him, you talked about joining life ministry. What about it? He just pulled the forms from the drawer, and the forms were fully filled. They were waiting for my signature. So I signed, and I was confident the Lord wants us to be in life ministry.
Wow, and you've never regretted?
We went, sometimes we go without salary, but I have never regretted. And I always tell people, whenever you want to do anything concerning God, be convicted that this is where God wants you to be. As long as you are convicted, I'm telling you, you will enjoy, even when you have money, when you don't have money.
You will never regret it.
You will never regret it.
And you will enjoy the fruit.
You will enjoy the fruit, because everybody is like, was against us. My mother-in-law called those days, there were no phones, wrote telegrams and say, because he was told we have resigned then.
My God.
He told me, she told me, no, ma.
The money maybe she had invested with the son.
And she tells me, you know, the son my son can do anything. But why did you agree to resign? You should have come and worked here. There's a hospital here in the home. Why didn't you come?
In our local hospital, and come. Those ones are in Nairobi.
Yes, but I thank God later on she understood, and she was happy.
And everybody is happy about that.
Everybody is happy about that. My family had no problem, because I was born in a Christian family, and so they had no problem with that.
No one was complaining over the same.
No, but they said, you know, they said, now how do we support you now? We are paying.
Where do we start?
No, we are paying offerings and the tithes in the churches so that we can be married, we can see the. How do we support you? But actually, they were not negative about it, and finally they enjoyed it.
Wow, that's amazing.
We enjoyed.
That's a powerful one. That one is a good example of that person who is getting tangled in between.
Exactly.
To follow the voice, or rather to stay in earthly things.
Yes.
By the way, it's a good example. Now, Mom, you've mentioned something about traveling. You've traveled so much.
Yes.
Now, how do you balance between your family and traveling, and at the same time ministry and all this? How do you balance everything?
One, everything we do, we involve our children. We used to, when they were young, now they are all young adults. Now all of them, they are out of our house.
Yes.
But we involve them.
But there was a time you really traveled when they were still young.
Yes, they were not very young, although they were
still
young.
They needed care,
because
they were schooling.
Well, they were schooling, and of course when it came that we have to go to Tanzania.
Okay.
The schools, we had planned to go with them. These two, the three. But now, the schools in Tanzania were very low compared with our education level.
Our
So
curriculum,
we left it there too. The first one was going to Form 1, and the second one was going to grade 6. And so we went with the third born and the last born. But our fourth son is an adopted son. So we adopted him when we came back to Nairobi. So we went with the last born. That was that time. Yeah. So we put him in an international school where they were taught by Kenyan teachers in the international school. So, and when he was there, he was when he is there, he is number 1. But when he comes here and they get a paper of the same class 3, he didn't need it. Yes. Then he said, me, I want to go back and go to a boarding school. So in grade 5, we brought him to a boarding school in Kenya. Yes.
Then you went back?
Then we went back, but every time I would come and visit. Every time I was visiting, just like the boarding schools in Kenya, the child is in boarding school, but there's a visiting day. That's what I used to do.
Wow.
And every time they closed, they were staying with another pastor. Immediately they closed today, tomorrow they are put in the bus, they come to Tanzania.
Wow.
So we stay with them, we enjoy together, and continue the life.
So in the middle of all this, you underwent any normal life that any human being was undergoing through, or rather any person who is going through the same, and you still managed. So nothing is difficult, just praying and committing yourself.
The most important thing, especially with the family, let your family be on the table. Whatever you do, whether you are traveling, let them know why you are traveling. Even when it came the time that we are still in live ministry, and then it came a time when we wanted to join the church, the Christian Church International. We had to involve them, and we told them, my husband told them, now it has come, we have been invited in this church to become full-time pastor. What is your feeling? They say, if you feel you are called to minister, we know you are a minister, but if you want to minister, you have been practicing church planting, you've been training churches on one-on-one witnessing, I think it will be very good when you go to church.
Wow. And it becomes easy.
It becomes easy, and they move with you. That's the good part. They move with you. They become part of your ministry. You don't have a ministry and then your family, you leave it on the other side. No, they become part and parcel of you because you're involving them step by step. Every step you go.
But
even
when they
if it's
grow
a Saturday,
up, you just let them be whatever they want to become.
Oh yes, when they grow, if they want to go to any other church, they are free to.
Wow.
Especially when we are away, they hand our ATM card in case they want something, especially when they went to college now, because they came to Nairobi college. One was in Daystar, the other one is in it's getting out of my mind, but it is this one Longai. Yes. So we gave them the ATM card. They know this is what we are supposed to do. This is your pocket money. This is your what, and then they remove the money from the bank and they keep the card.
Those are
so
responsible kids.
Yeah, we
Very
taught them we trusted them. We said, we trust you. You know, this is what we have. This is how much we earn. Even today, when they are in home, even if he goes to preach anywhere and then he's given any money, he just says, wow, today I was with this church and this is the much I have gotten.
My goodness. That's amazing, Mom.
Yes.
That's very beautiful. I think we should emulate you guys because I think life will become very easy when we do such things with a lot of openness. Now come back to our topic.
Exactly.
Kindly, I would like you to define conflict and elaborate this, or rather crisis in marriages, because this is a thing that is happening every day of our lives. Yes.
Okay. The simplest way I can define the word conflict is that conflict is a serious disagreement which would make someone feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
or the other partner feel in danger. Yes.
And now, because these things have been happening, I would like you to tell and maybe mention just but a few that are happening in our daily lives. And I would like also to venture in, how can we help these people to come out of this?
How can we help people to come out of conflict?
Yes.
Actually, the first thing that I think helps is whenever there is a conflict between the two, it's very, very important not to overreact.
Not to overreact.
Because you don't know, you are not very sure how this conflict has come or how true it is about that conflict. Because the conflict can come from a hearsay or something you suspect and it then brings a conflict. So because you are not very sure of what is happening, don't overreact. When you don't overreact, you are able to take, it's not easy. It's easy to say don't overreact.
Yes.
Because most of the times when you are hit by a conflict, you feel like you are boom, you feel like you are bursting. So you want to say whatever you want to say.
Exactly.
So the best thing you do, cool down. Don't overreact.
But before we come to that also, I would like to know, where do these problems come from? Because there is a source. And how can you identify there is a problem that is about to arise from that particular point?
Where do these problems come from? Conflict. Actually, conflict are inevitable. For one, conflicts come from different than day-to-day life.
Okay.
Unfaithfulness of our partner. That's a source of conflict.
Okay.
And you may not anticipate, because when you are courting, you are lovers. But somehow, somewhere, your partner decides to be unfaithful.
And of course, you can tell when someone is becoming unfaithful.
You can tell.
Definitely. Change of behavior.
But somehow, some of them may not. But
sometimes we, especially as ladies, we speculate things.
Yes.
We assume things. And most especially when we are not working under the same field.
Yes. And when you suspect there is that unfaithful, maybe behavior will tell. Somehow, when someone starts becoming...
Strong behaviors, that is.
Yes.
Very strong behaviors. Not like today he's late and he's used to come at home by 5. Today he comes at 8. Not you speculate very loudly and this person he got maybe stuck somewhere.
Yes.
Jam, or rather he stood somewhere with a friend.
You should not, that's why we say you should not speculate all that.
Yes.
Because you need also to take step by step. And even when it comes to thinking and feeling like someone is unfaithful, you need to be very, very careful.
Okay.
And especially within believers.
Yes.
I always say it is very important to pray. When you feel like there's something, as a believer, you will always, even if you, not one day, not 2 days, not 3 days, but somehow, even in your conscience, when you are prayerful, as a lady, as a wife, there is something that you can tell you. Something is not going right here.
Okay.
If some men will hide on the job.
Yes.
Today I was too busy.
Yeah, very true. They
Next
will idle even after job. Sometimes they sit down and have fun. Like especially right now we are in politics time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have so many reasons. I know of one who was being told every day, he says, we had a lot of work and then we have so many reports to give. What? And by that time she realized, wow, the guy had already left.
And he was so sincere?
He was not sincere. He was lying.
Okay.
But now, the lady was not alert. Ladies, I encourage us to be alert.
Oh my God.
And even if it's anything, pray for your husband.
Okay.
When your husband leaves home, please, if you're not going to work, take time. Pray for him. Not to be selfish, but you pray for him because he can. Many people are, and especially today, many young girls, They don't want to work. They don't want to start from scratch. They want to go with that man who has been successful, who is driving that big car, or who is...
They call it a machine.
Yes. Now, if you are not careful, you need to pray for total protection for your husband. Always pray for let love and faithfulness never depart from you. Tie it around your neck, and you will win favor before God and before men. Even you need to pray for favor before your husband. As you win favor before God, you win favor before your husband. Wow. So even as he moves around, you have already covered him. You have already arrested his mind in the spiritual realms.
Amen.
Yeah.
No, this is kind of very strange, because I know some people are just asking themselves, and how about when you realize it's like there's something going on and you want really to know? Do you ask him directly, or how do you behave?
Now, the first thing you do, that's according to me, the first thing you do, don't be judgmental. Because you have been praying. Before you even ask about what is happening, you have prayed and you want God to give you. Because the main thing you must know in your mind, God is He is the one who started marriage. Marriage is an institution by God.
It's true.
And so God always wants me and my husband to glorify Him.
Amen.
And because God wants me and my husband to glorify Him, as I pray for my husband, I'm not only praying for him because it's my husband, I'm praying for him also that he doesn't miss to go to heaven.
Oh, yeah.
So because of that, then when I realize that it's not going right, I don't need to have bitterness. I need to have confrontation, loving confrontation.
With a lot of
With
calmness.
a lot of love. Because you have prayed, and God is like, He has convinced you there's a problem. So with all due respect, with love, you just... With confrontation is not easy. And because you have asked God...
It's not easy, because most men also don't like to be asked.
Or they don't like to be confronted. But you have prayed.
And in this case, we won't dwell so much on men, because even ladies
Even
nowadays...
ladies, yes. Even a lady is confronted and they broke off. Yes. So also the husband need to pray that this lady, as I go to address my husband or my wife, then God convict her before I talk. True. And I'm telling you, if you pray that God may convict, conviction comes from the Lord. Even when people get saved, they are convicted by God.
Very true.
Even this one, because you have prayed and you love this man, you have not shown him any, the worst of us is when you have realized, you start rebelling. You start wanting to show him. I am also.
Oh, yes. And bragging
and pouring, and you change now. You change the person he knew, and you also realize this lady might be, or this man might have gotten an idea of where I am or what I'm doing.
Okay.
So when you do it
and he becomes wild or she becomes wild, how well can you handle this? Because at times it happens, even to the believers.
It happens. If it becomes wild or she becomes wild, there's also you don't need to be wild. Because when the two of you go up, then things will not go the right way. Whoever is the confronter can slow down. If it goes up, there are some truths. Because if it is not, it may not go up. But if there are some truths, it may have to go up. But now, you who has been confronting, I would think, slow it a bit.
Okay.
Don't rise up.
Don't rise
temper.
Up.
No. Don't
when he gets
temper.
wild or she gets wild, slow down.
Slow down.
Is it well to observe moods? Is it okay to observe when is the right mood to communicate about
exactly that? The right time. You must know the right time. You must understand where he is coming from. You must also want to know about his workplace. You must also, before you confront.
And because most men have projects, or rather women, we get overburdened, we have home chores, we have job chores, and all this. So it's good to observe moods.
It's good to observe. It's good also to take time. Don't always rush. Because even these days, especially with these phones, someone may send you a photo or showing that your husband was in a certain place.
Oh, yeah.
And then you start to react. Don't react. Just play it cool. Because he may not have been there. And these days I saw someone is getting your hand the way you are. Fix it in somebody's,
exactly.
and you look exactly, this is Rebecca. And so if someone does that, because especially those who want to spoil your marriage.
They are photoshopping our images.
Right.
And they are putting us in clubs.
Exactly.
So the moment that person receives that photo, definitely, I think he can't be easy.
It can't be easy. And that's a weapon that the devil is using, and especially in Christian marriages.
It is true.
Even in normal marriages. Yes.
Oh my God. May God forbid that. And may people correct things because they are messing up people's lives.
Yes.
And also, I would like you to mention about these cases that are rising every day about murdering each other as couples. What is your take upon this?
Actually, these are conflicts which have not been resolved. Because actually conflicts are not, they come. But if you don't take a step of resolving conflict in a marriage, they pile. And the time they pile, you did this to me, you cheated me on this, you did this, and you have been covering everything, and then until the heap becomes, and then you go beyond control. So that is one of the things that is bringing killings.
So Mrs. Nyaga, this starts from long ago. It has not started right now. So it started with me slapping you. Then the other minute, we did this, we did that. It escalated until it got to that point of killing each other. That is what you mean?
Yes, you did this. Maybe we talked and maybe I forgive, or I didn't even forgive, or you expected me to change. I never changed.
Okay.
So somebody has done. Or let's say,
is it that people love each other very much to a point of killing each other, or what do you think?
Somehow, especially recently, there was an incident where a man kills his wife and kills the child, and then goes somewhere and hang himself. And this was the reason was he realized the wife had moved with another man. So I think also there's a state that men feel so betrayed that I don't want to see you anymore, neither do I want to see that man whom you cheated with. So in the final end,
if you won't be with me, you won't be with him.
Exactly. And I don't want anything to exist that you do. Because if you, at least I was saying, if you want anything to exist, you can leave your son.
Yes.
And you know your parents can take care, or your sister can take care of your son, so that you can be remembered. But now, you don't want anything to do with you.
Anything that belongs to you. You don't want anything.
Yes, you are fed up with life. And somehow maybe we own, you feel like it's mine.
And I think that's too bad.
A lot of selfishness. A lot of selfishness.
Very true.
Yes.
Now, Madam Nyaga, I think we will take a short break, and then we come back. When we come back, I think we are going to escalate more about this. Yes, and thank you for your time.
Thank you too.
Now, our viewer, we are just taking a short break. Please don't touch that dial. Madam Nyaga is with us, and we are trying to see where the conflicts of our families arises from. And definitely we'll come out with a solution before the end of the show. May God bless you. Don't go away.
When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh Lord, I want to be among the number, oh, when the saints go marching in.
Iron sharpens iron.
And as a father, have you ever thought the best gift you can give to your lineage?
Life is not about the gifts we win. It's about the people we love.
Catch us every Tuesday from 8 to 9 on Elders Council, a show where all men issues matter.
So do hundreds of thousands of your potential customers.
My name is Rebecca Angoi. Welcome to Life in Ministry.
Gospel reggae. Peace.
Heaven Bound TV is the fastest growing Christian channel offering cost-effective and affordable rates. Your customers will see you, feel you, and love it. To advertise, contact us on 0722 111 107 or email us at heavenboundtvstation@gmail.com. You're watching us now, aren't you?
4 decades ago, we started In Touch Ministries to lead people worldwide into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. Throughout the years, we've seen God's greatness, His love, and His blessings in such awesome ways that we just want everyone to know Him. You know where you are in your life today. If you're facing something that's very difficult, remember this: never too difficult for God. He knows where you are. He's there to help you. He never runs out of whatever's necessary to help you. And He wants you to trust Him step by step. And whatever you're facing, you'll always come out right.
Iron sharpens iron.
And as a father, have you ever thought the best gift you can give to your lineage?
Life is not about the gifts we win. It's about the people we love.
Catch us every Tuesday from 8 to 9 on Elders Council, a show where all men issues matter.
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be among the number. Oh, when the saints go.
Welcome back to our show. This is Daughters of Favour. With me is Mrs. Astrid Nyaga. And I can see a lot of you are just following us and you are learning. We are trying to get a solution about the conflicts in our marriages, or rather the confusions that get our marriages, and we end up breaking our marriages. And I can see Mercy Zachary, we can see you're following. Mercy Wanja, you're there. And we have Kenyaga, thank you so much, from Judah. D, we can see you for following from Judah. And we can see Silas Nyaga, powerful, let love and fullness bind them around your neck. Pray to God to gain favor from your spouses. Thank you so much. We continue with our topic. Karibu sana, Mami.
Thank you.
Amazing topic there. A lot of people are just following us and they're saying they're loving the show. So we were somewhere about the family conflicts. Yes. Can you tell us what can we settle all this? Because they started from a slap all the way up to now fighting and killing ourselves and even killing our spouses. How can we settle all this?
Okay, the main thing on how to settle this this conflict is the willingness of the couple. The couple knowing that they started to have a marriage and to bring ungodly heritage. Okay. When you know you are having ungodly heritage that you are bringing up, so you will be willing to settle your conflicts so that you may be able to, because if you are not willing to settle your conflict, that is why we are ending now to violence and divorce and separations. Okay. But if the couple, the best way to do is the couple should be willing. Anytime there's a conflict, be willing to resolve your conflict.
To discuss this.
To discuss it and without wanting anything or not being selfish. Okay. Just decide that I want my marriage to work. Purpose that you want your marriage to work. If you purpose that me and my husband, we purpose. I want my marriage to work, and you, him as my husband, purpose that he wants his marriage to work, then we will be able to to settle on our conflict, and even if it means to involve a counselor or someone.
I was even about to ask that, because at times we are so full of ego and a lot of bitterness consumers, and at times we feel that we cannot talk one-on-one to one another. How well can we involve a third party, and is it well also to involve a man of God in between?
Yes. Actually, sometimes if you involve a man of God, at times it would work. If you really want to make your marriage work, you can involve your pastor. If you involve your pastor, you can talk, you can agree. Immediately you agree to someone to get in the middle. Because, of course, by the time you think of someone to come in the middle, you have not been able to agree, the two of you. So if you agree for your pastor to come along with you, that is the first way you have decided to sort out your marriage. And I'm telling you, it will work. If only you agree that your pastor to come in to help you settle. If your pastor is not, because some of the pastors are not trained counselors, and you also advise that you can agree to involve a trained counselor who can also give you, help you to come out of your conflict.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. A trained counselor, someone who is trained and is familiar with these things and how to resolve these issues. Now, Mom, do you think also our in-laws or other parties contribute so much into breaking marriages?
Very much. Our in-laws contribute a lot. Our in-laws contribute because the first time when we were dating, we did not table out. We didn't discuss about how are we going to handle our in-laws. That is how they bring conflict in our marriages. But if we discussed how shall we handle your parents as her husband, how shall we handle your parents as a wife, then we bring on the table. Then we say, when we visit these ones this time, we visit this time. If we give these ones 5,000, we give the others 5,000, unless there is a special need. But now, most of the times, many times when in-laws bring conflict, is that me, and especially ladies, I'm sorry to say, ladies are so selfish. I am one. But anytime you are married, you don't take your husband's parents as your parents. And this brings a lot of conflict because this man was born and he has that parental love. You were born, you have that parental love. So if you don't love your husband's parents, honestly speaking, this man also will feel you are depriving him something.
It's true.
You see? And many, sincerely speaking, ladies have been so selfish. Maybe to say more about that, and I always tell ladies, I talk with the ladies and I tell them about in-laws. If like me, I have boys. If I want to be treated well, my daughter-in-law, I should have treated my mother-in-law well. If I never treated my mother-in-law well, I tell you, I will not get anything. You will reap what you plant. Whether you like it or not. And this is why the issue of parents-in-law has become a thorn in the flesh in many families.
Very true.
Yes,
very, very
because
true.
you have to reap what you planted. And it has come to be a generation. Your mother was talking about the mother of the husband. Now you talk of your... And it goes like that. If you want to break it, love the parents of your husband. Let your husband love your parents equally.
Cut those chains and show your children
and show your children that your parents, my parents matter, your parents matter. As long as you do that, there will never be a conflict. You know, because sometimes someone, that's something I was told. Someone was told, a husband called the wife and said, okay, now today I want us to go and visit our parents. The landlord, we are visiting his parents. So they went. He was given 5,000. Go and do the shopping. She went and bought things of 2,000 and then pocketed the other money. Then they drove. They were coming from the same direction. To her surprise, the car diverted and went to her parents. Wow, you mean we are going to my parents? Oh, yes. And then he said, Anyway, hey, I wish you told me.
He didn't ask why.
Why? And give you money. What was the need to tell you where? But she was so embarrassed. And from that day,
she learned
that if it is parents,
that was a big lesson.
It is parents. My parents need sugar as your parents need sugar. It doesn't matter. But why do you pocket money when we are going to my husband's place and when we are going to your mother's place? You buy all what it takes in the whole.
You carry all the supermarket.
You carry the whole supermarket that your mom will enjoy.
Yes.
God forbid. That is why we will live to say parents-in-law I'll bring conflict. They don't.
Very true. Very true, Mom.
They don't, unless you ask a wife. Most of the people who are affected are wives.
Here there's a daughter that is asking you something. And she's Jane Mwaneki. We can see you. She's asking,
yes.
My husband doesn't create time for us, especially when we need him on Sunday. He's never there to be found. And we always think on Sundays is the best time to take us for an out, or rather to be with our kids. How well can we handle this?
All right. This one depends on how they started. Has he started it now?
By the look, it's like the husband is not at work on Sunday.
Yes.
By the look.
Yes. He doesn't work on Sunday. And maybe he doesn't go to church. Maybe he has other engagements. But the most important thing is, as a wife, I need to get to know.
How did we late?
How did we relate? How did we take this Sunday? Has it changed?
Okay.
You see? Oh, that is where we start. That's how he has been since the time you married. If he has changed, you need to know why what has contributed him to behave that way. If you really have been going out, even in, I encourage people, whatever you used to do in courtship, you can
continue doing it.
Continue doing it. Although you may not do everything,
yes,
because of course
you won't do it 100%, but at least show some effort.
Exactly. So if he has started, please try to know why. And that is why now another confrontation with a lot of love.
Oh, yes.
Because also that you don't know why he is being the way he is behaving. But also, you also don't need to pirate, because if you carry it also, it will affect you. So you need to talk it out with love and not condemning, because he may not be in the wrong place. Maybe he's just busy, but it's good because the family is very key. You also need to confront it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just hope Jane has that answer. And also, Mom, in regard to that, do you think it's also important for everyone, any party, to give themselves enough time to be with the family?
Very, very important. If you want to have a healthy family, a healthy marriage,
create time for them.
Create time for your wife. That's very particular. Create time for your wife. Immediately you don't have time with your wife, you are finding a loophole.
Okay.
Which will make you get.
But some people pretend to be very busy 24/7 from Monday to Sunday. How about that?
That's wrong. And that is where someone like that, even if he's an unbeliever, may end up being tempted elsewhere. Because you have no time with your wife, you don't talk, you just wake up, you go, you come, you wake up. Some will come late, you start coming late, you have been eating dinner together, this time you don't. There must be a problem. There's something that is, so that is why I said you have to see why is this change? Because it has not been there. And it's very key. If you want to bring ungodly legacy, if you want to have children or who you can be proud of, please have time with your children. Let children discuss how their dad took them out, how we did this, how they played, even if they are small, 3 years, 4 years. Let your children always talk about their dad, their mom, that warmth, how you sat down on the floor, on the carpet, you played games.
Wow.
If it's football, you play, you have fun with your children.
If it's cutting grass, if it's...
Yes, and actually it helps
Wow.
And that's the only way
You build a bond, eh?
Yes, it's very important to create time. Please, when you become too busy for your family, you are just losing that family.
You're spoiling everything.
You are spoiling, you are destroying your family.
Okay.
And it might be very late when you come to discover you have already destroyed your family.
Madam, do you think these conflicts endanger our children, or rather, this, I don't know which word to use, but do they affect our kids?
So much, so much. One, children, when there are conflict, children feel insecure.
Okay.
Immediately, and the children are very keen.
Very sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Very.
They know when a father has proper relationship with their mother.
Ah.
So they are very keen. A little change makes them feel insecure.
Okay.
And when they feel insecure, it affects them even psychologically.
Okay.
And that's why you find many children today, they are getting into drugs.
Very much.
Many children are getting to long company because if their
And
father...
even academic issues.
Because maybe others, the father is always coming to ask them about the performance, and he was not there for the child when he was free to have a free talk outside the academics, outside the performance. So it is it affects the children so much, and that's why it goes even to the young couples. Because now, if a son or has grown in violence, then when he get married, that is what he
will exercise.
Exactly. Yes. Children learn from what they see.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So
sometimes they feel so much disowned, and you see they run after the house helps or maybe the grandmother, whoever is available and ready to listen to them.
Yes.
Do you think hapo ndio watoto wanapoteleanga?
Kabisa. Kabisa. Most of the children have been left to house girl actually.
Yes.
You can imagine you left your child, you didn't come out from the house at 8. You came out to be in the office, you came out maybe 7 or you came out at 6:30 so that you beat the jam. And that child was left with the house help. The child stays with the house help the whole day, and in the evening, you come again, late night, or you be wherever you are, and it's the child, if you don't create time for that child, I'm telling you that child will not know anybody else but the house girl.
They will not recognize you.
You are not sure what the house girl is teaching the child.
Yes. Which behaviors?
Yeah, which behaviors?
By the way, it's true.
So finally, you are maybe to say you are Christian, but you finally you don't understand where your
some
child
other
is getting some
behaviors
behaviors
from your child.
Kumbe, she has learned from the house girl. Only
And you find sometimes the person who is having now problems is the child, because when they go back to school, the teacher notices these behaviors, and I don't think the mother will be caned. The same child will be caned.
Yes.
The baby has been with the teacher, and then she comes home. She is with the house help.
Yes.
The mother is nowhere to be found, or the dad.
Yes.
So the child feels very much disowned,
very
confused.
Yes. Actually, there's a child, a 3-year-old. The mother works and the father also works. So somehow they arrive home around 5 or 6.
Okay.
When they arrive home, the boy starts becoming arrogant, starting getting something and throwing to the house girl. Throwing to the house girl. Then the father, because that's not that he has taught him well. Why are you beating? Why?
Why are you throwing all?
Why? And he was not behaving so to the previous house girl. This is a new house girl.
True.
Until somehow, God made a way, and this girl this girl beat that boy in the presence of the father. Oh, no wonder. When we come home, this boy want to show my security has come. I can fight you back.
Okay.
So then after that, they were told by a neighbor, your son, he cries a lot.
Okay.
They
don't relate well.
They don't relate well with the husband. So you see, if they were not coming the right time, they could not have realized this boy is suffering.
It's true.
And now the father started disciplining this boy, and so you see the boy had nowhere to run to. He felt like he's getting, if the father is beating him, the house girl is said, and he doesn't have to say, I was beaten. So that is how important it is. At least one parent, if them both cannot arrive home before 6 or by 6, and see the behavior of your children, it is very, very
It's
risky.
very true.
Yes.
So all this can lead to depression.
Exactly. This can lead to the very bad situation of the child can end up not performing, low self-esteem, because now the father is beating him because of the behavior, and the behavior is beating that house girl because he wants to defend himself now. He wants to show the house girl, I also can. You see? So,
And because he has a defender.
he has a defender
my
now.
God.
But the defender now turns to beat him.
Turns to be violent because he doesn't understand.
He doesn't
but
understand.
later God revealed everything.
God, actually, it didn't take long because they knew the behavior was queer. So they wanted to know what is the problem.
Okay.
And now they got to know the problem. Yeah, so that is why parents must know, and especially when you have these small children,
Yes.
3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. When your children are home, and please be there. One of you should be there.
I think it's very important.
Alive
Very important.
home.
Either of you to be at home.
Either of you.
Either of you to be at home.
Yes.
So that you can at least defend and guide these children.
Exactly.
Because they are our loved ones, and of course
Exactly.
they are our future.
And their future is in your hands.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, Mom Astrid, I know you've become a counselor. You've been counseling couples, or maybe couple seminars. What major thing would you like to express to our couples outside there, or people who are aspiring to become couples?
What I want to say is that because conflicts come, it is very important, especially even before you get married, in your courtship, discuss or put on the table all the things that you would think would bring conflict in your marriage. Because conflicts are inevitable. They might come, misunderstandings come. But if you had put all things on the table, discuss these things, you would be able to know even when things are not going and then you don't end up to that
direction.
Yes, when we are in the flesh.
Yes.
If you are tempted to go that direction and you one time discussed about this, then you will stop and you realize I'm taking the wrong way.
Yes.
So conflict will not come.
Okay.
You see? And even if it comes, you are able to handle it well with wisdom. And until you learn how to handle conflict, it is very, very dangerous because that's why divorce is coming.
Oh, yes.
So I would encourage married people to be very, very particular on handling every conflict as it comes. Put our children in the first place, knowing that our conflict will destroy our children. As it destroys us, it destroys our families.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes.
Now, Mom, before we close our show, because we are almost coming to the end, and this one just came in my mind because I found that once our daughters or maybe our sons are having these conflicts at home, they tend to rush to their parents. And when they go there, their parents tend to force them back. And once they're forced back, this is when we find they're killing each other. How well can you advise if these things escalate and they become way out of hand? What is the best thing you can do?
The first thing, when these conflicts have come and reached to a point where now my daughter comes home and tells me this is what I'm going through. If it's violence, if it is violence, I would not tell her to go back.
Okay.
I would want to know, and I would want to know whether she would want me to get involved, to call the husband and we talk before I tell anything about going back, if it is violence. If it's not violence, then I would still want to, I wouldn't encourage her to stay in my house. I would always want, have you talked with your best couple?
Yes.
If not your best couple, because the best couples may not be the right people, have you talked with your pastor about this? Because also, I as a mother of a daughter, I might feel so offended and overreact towards this husband, and yet maybe my daughter is on the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You see? So the best thing, I would encourage her, before she comes to me, let her go to a pastor and talk about it. Although most people don't like to go to the pastors because now that they are exposing they are exposing themselves,
and especially their own pastors.
Yes, their own pastors. But me, what I want to say is, my daughter, have you sorted this? If they have discussed with their husband and they have not come to agreement, then I would encourage her to consult a counselor. I always believe...
Ma'am, the reason I'm asking this, we've seen all this happen, and people are trying to explain. They even went to counselors, they even went where and where, but still when they come back, they still fight. Would you advocate they still stay together?
No, there is a time, because especially today, the way things are, I think they are very different from 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
Yes.
Because of these killings and the what, instead of losing life,
they're becoming too much.
I would advise them to separate for a moment.
Okay.
Let them, let each one
give some other space.
Give the other one space, so that at least you can think and rethink of why this conflict. Why can't we agree? What is the problem? And I would not advise any young couple or any couple for violence. I hate violence.
Yes.
With all passion, because I don't believe there's anybody who can be changed by violence.
Okay.
And especially when a man beats his wife, the Bible is very clear. It is part of you. It's your body. Wow. You are beating her, and you know very well, even if she gives you a blow like you have done, you can't feel pain.
No.
Why beat? I am very much against that. I feel if you are too much annoyed as a husband, just walk out.
Wow.
And leave this lady alone, because it's just a torture for nothing. It's not godly, and it is just against God. Yes.
Mom, as a couple counselor, now we are closing. We are closing. As a couple counselor, would you tell someone who is undergoing this, there's a solution?
Yes, there is.
I would like you to look at that camera and tell that person there's a solution. There's a solution for everything.
Yes, there is a solution for everything, because the intention of God is that the couple should live together to bring up ungodly heritage. And if you are bringing up ungodly heritage, there is a solution. If only you decide, you stop being selfish. Because the main problem today is selfishness.
Wow.
You only think about yourself. You don't think about the other person.
Yes.
You don't think about the children you have brought to this world. You just think of how you can enjoy yourself without this woman, and you just start seeing her as a woman. How you can go and do well without this man, because you feel you can do well without this man. But remember, selfishness is key to any breakage of the marriage. Selfishness makes everything go wrong. Because if you think about your partner, if you think about your children, you cannot. If you think about God, what does God say about this? Every time you act, whatever step you take, ask, what does the Bible say about this?
Wow.
Is it really godly for me to do this? Is it godly for me to insult or to assault this person? So if you realize it's not godly, stop it.
Stop it.
Love one another.
Wow.
Take care of your spouse with all due respect.
Wow.
Respect one another. If you respect my values, I respect your values, we go very well.
Very true.
Yes.
It will be a walk in the park.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you for your wise words and your counseling. Definitely, we've loved everything. And I just hope these people have had everything that you've mentioned. And probably there was someone who was unable maybe to tackle their solutions, but their problems, but now they have a solution. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And yes.
Yes.
And you go say hi to your family. Tell them we love them so much, and especially Pastor Nyaga.
Yes.
And I know you have become a blessing to someone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yes.
It was nice being with you. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
And you have a good night.
Then good night too.
Yes.
Yes.
And our viewer, thank you so much for staying tuned. Today we have our special guest with us, and of course she's leaving us. She has been very vocal about family conflict. I'm very sure if you had one, today you have got a solution. You've gotten a solution. And may God bless you so much as we cultivate our marriages and as we stick in our marriages, because they are godly. As you've heard her, she has said that. May you have a blessed night, and may God bless you so much.
Oh, when the saints go marching in.